Um, we did do a lot of traveling. We went to England. We've been there a few times because we had a lot of international visitors. There was a boy named Ayers. His father was into milk or something. Anyway, he went to Cornell and he felt sorry for the internationals that had to stay at the college on the holidays. Mm-hmm. So we'd come here and ask people to entertain them.
That's nice. Mm-hmm.
And we started with a girl from the Philippines, and then we had a girl from Thailand, and we had Swedish girl and German girl. And then we got into experiment of international living. Mm-hmm. Have you been in that, work with that?
No, but I know of it.
Yeah, but we had girls from there, and we enjoyed them so much. We had Russian girls that I can't forget because they were unusual. They brought an interpreter with them. The first day we were sitting in the kitchen. One girl had come upstairs to take a shower, and next thing you knew, we heard knocking on the floor, and so the interpreter went up. No, I went up first, but I couldn't understand what she was saying, and the door was locked. So we got the interpreter, and she had thought that the water went out on the floor and out, like in Europe, they have the drain on the floor. Well, this drain was just in the bathtub, and she'd filled the bathtub and it was flowing
over to the floor. Oh dear.
But they were really, really nice. One was a movie actress, one was a communist. And
is it from Russia?
They were Russian.
Yeah.
And the movie actress didn't want to take any of the sightseeing trips that Penn Yan had offered around here. So she was sick when the communists left. And when she left, she got up and wanted to know if I would take her to, there's a state college down there my granddaughter went to. I can't think of the name. It's a state college. It's grown really big. But anyway, we took her down there, and she headed right for the German professor. And stayed with him all day, and guess what? Some of them would come back for like Easter, and then when they graduated, I thought I won't see them again.
They're all from Cornell, the ones we're talking about.
Cornell. But then when we started traveling, we covered every one of them. We've been to all those countries except Russia. I never heard from them. And Lyn was a ham, and he could talk he talked all over the world. But he couldn't get into Russia. He couldn't get contact with them. In fact, we took her into his, where the ham radio was, at the other house, and wanted her to listen, but she was afraid to. She backed away. She didn't want to come near it.
Okay. Were there quite a few? Gertha also mentioned that her husband was a ham radio operator. Was there a lot of that going on in Penn Yan back in the, I don't know, when would that be, the 50s?
There were quite a few hams. Well, they're still there. I just got a letter.
Blood in the early 70s, in 72.
Well, it came up here, and the ham radios, my husband went down to Elmira where there was a main place, and he would help mostly in talking to doctors and getting advice from people. My daughter was going to Europe at that time, and Elmira Airport was closed, so they really had a problem, but they finally got out. But everybody was helping. We didn't feel it much. Our lake property did. The lake went up, but it was worse down in Elmira. That's all. I don't know too much about it, except it was wet.
Yeah, and that they were having trouble other places, and the Penn Yan people were participating, especially the ham radio.
Yeah. It was quite an experience for him. He enjoyed it. Really felt he was helping. They needed somebody that good.
Is this to contact the people
They
who were
couldn't use
isolated?
the telephone for some
Okay.
reason.
Yeah, well, the lines were out. So they used the ham operator, and then the ham operators got them help then?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So people were
And get
isolated?
advice from doctors and people that needed medicines.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
Part I remember the most. Mexico, a number of times, because Lyn was interested in the pyramids.
Uh-huh.
He really studied them.
Chichen Itza, and
Pardon?
did you go to Chichen Itza
Yeah,
up on the Yucatan? And what about down
yeah, all those.
the ones near Mexico City? Did you go to those too?
Well, we didn't stay there long.
Uh-huh.
Went to Cozumel.
Uh-huh.
And we went to a place that ends with D. Allende. I was trying to think of the first
yes,
word. Doesn't matter. But
Miguel de Allende? San Miguel de Allende.
Yeah, Miguel.
San Miguel de Allende.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a wonderful
That's a
artist town.
university,
It's an
an
artist.
artist.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. We went there a couple of times because we had a friend there
Uh-huh.
that was living there, and we went there. And we've been to Ghana.
Wow.
That
uh-huh.
was interesting.
I bet that was.
We were home. I was home, and I got this call from the Experiment of International Living.
Uh-huh.
She said, "Can you take a guest?"
Uh-huh.
I says, "When?" "Well, it'll be in about a week." I says, "You always give us a lot of time. Tell us ahead." She says, "Well, we have a real problem. This girl was accepted for the U.S., and the people found out she was black, and they canceled the whole thing." I says, "We can take her, but we'll have to meet you, because at that time, my daughter was in a wedding of one of her schoolmates, and I don't even remember where it was, but it was down the Hudson." I said, "Could she meet us there?" And she did. And, I don't know, it was so long ago, but we had a wonderful time. She came back, would live with us for a few weeks, and then she went on to study. She was a very spasmodic writer. She'd write really well, then we wouldn't hear from her for years.
Years.
But then she came back, and she was living at the Ghana embassy in Washington, and she wanted us to come down and be her parents for her wedding.
Oh,
she
isn't that
always
nice?
called me mother.
Isn't that nice?
And I thought it was so queer, but she says, "Wait, that's what we call everybody." So I accepted it. So we went and gave her away, and then she'd come back every once in a while, and finally, I bet I have a picture up. No, I don't. She got the highest degree. She was really awarded big high honors in Ghana. She just wrote to me the other day. It was really interesting, and she called me. I said, "Can you come up?" She says, "No, but I'm going to call you in a couple of months, and I will try to come up."